Okay, so let's discuss a bit about what we've done today with TCR. Do you want to start? Or should I start?
Okay, so I start. The thing is about TCR, like I said, but I didn't like it. It's like doing too many things at the same time. So usually when you try to pass the test, you're always thinking, hey, I should revert everything. So going back to creating the test and then going to create the production code to make it pass. Actually, I don't like the idea because we don't have a checkpoint to see, hey, I'm self-confident about the test, so I can move to the production code and try to do the production code. So that's the stuff that I'm not really comfortable with when we are doing that stuff. And the basic idea of TDD actually is splitting, making your brain doing one thing at a time. So that's why, like I said before, I like the idea of making two phases. One that we call it, let's call it the red phase. We try only to create the test. We can iterate in the test if we'd like. If we'd like some good message about the test, something naming the test, or maybe changing, but we stay in that and we only touch the test in that red phase because we are in the middle of creating the test. And then when we move to the production code, we move to what we call the green phase. And in that phase, we need to pass the test that already we created in the red phase. Also, in the green phase, we can iterate. The first one is going to be make it pass. The second iteration, it can be refactoring, redesigning of the code or something like that. And in every phase that we do, in the red phase, if you run your test and it's green, you revert. In the green phase, if you run your test and your test is red, you revert. See the thing?
Yeah, I think for me it wasn't that much of an issue because I'm used to having that small tests that it's just not bothering, and I try always to make this hack to make the test pass. So I'm sure that I make the test pass in the worst possible way that you can, but it doesn't matter. Meaning, I'm not trying to make it in the worst possible way, but typically to make a test pass, you need to do some hacks. So that's why for me, that's not that big of an issue. Although when you start having more complex tests, it starts being an issue.
Yeah, you're right. The thing is, in my case, what I see is like switching context when you switch from file to another, so or from the test to production code. Like you said before, if you are using TDD as you mean it, so you get the production and the test in the same file, that's fine. I think we can do it that way. But if you are use different files, actually when you are working, you are not really using TDD to learn something or stuff. It can be an issue because at some point you're gonna say, hey, should I try to modify that file or the other one? And then switching context is really dangerous for developers. So yeah, I agree with you.
True.
In a case that you are in complex environment, when you are working really on something, really on production or something like that, it can be really hard to do it.
Yeah, it's true. So and it's I think something that TDD taught people is taking small steps and trying to minimize that inherent complexity that you have in a production environment. And now if you want to bring back some unnecessary environment, it will just ruin the whole concept.
Yeah. Actually, the thing also, we didn't try it, but maybe I will try it with some of my colleagues. Like I said before, something with the red phase and the green phase, and also with some time constraint, because if you remember well, at some point we got too much on the design. We took so much time and we didn't go back to check. And then we reverted what we did actually.
Yeah.
So that's why usually you get also that pattern in TDD every time you put a test. At some point, the time that you're gonna take to make the text and the production code is gonna be larger and larger. So that's why I like the time constraint. Not too much, not too less.
Yeah.
2 minutes is, I think, is too much.
Yeah, it's too short. It's for sure. I think you need something that's manageable, but still it can force you to start doing something and not just trying to figure out to be everything have everything perfect.
Yeah.
Because you can make the test pass and then make multiple refactoring steps.
Yeah, you're right. That's it can be in that way. Also, the other things that I'd like to try, maybe I tried with one of my colleagues also, how TCR will work if you are doing something with BDD, something like TDD double loop, how it's gonna affect the biggest loop. The smaller loop, we already seen it in this SCADA, but the bigger loop, how it's gonna affect it.
Yeah,
that's the stuff that I'd like to try.
That's something to try for sure. Let's maybe you can try next time or see if you want to continue on this. But it's something that would be interesting to see. I think it changes in a bit how you behave in a double loop. Probably it affects also the big loop in a way. I'm not sure exactly how.
Yeah, I think we should try it.
Yeah, for sure. Okay, so I think this was interesting for me. It was very it was different. We struggled a bit from the times, which is good. I think you learned from these things. This idea of trying to simplify, always come with the simplest production solution is always helpful. Even in production, I think if you can do that, if your code needs to remain like that, very stupid and simple, maybe you just didn't put enough tests and it's a sign that you didn't put enough pressure on it.
Yeah, exactly.
So then the question, do I need to add more tests, has a very clear answer: yes, if the code is like that. But I think we focused more on the method today than the kappa itself.
You're right about that. The only dangerous stuff about TCR that I already seen is some people, they're gonna try to make, because they have the same phase of testing and production code, they're gonna try to make green tests, and sometimes these kind of tests, they will not give a value. So it's like running a test that you know that is gonna pass.
Yeah,
that's the dangerous stuff about that.
Yeah, it could be dangerous because you're just creating
false tests.
Yeah, or just inventory tests that aren't that useful. Tests that are just noise.
Yeah, actually, usually when we were using TDD at some of the team that have been working together, that if somebody writes a green test directly, you need to pay something to the others.
Yeah, that's a good one. But you know, sometimes this is a good sign that you have a green test. Sometimes.
Yeah, because
just a few times.
You're right about that, because you are in the good way to the best solution for your problem.
Exactly. So it's a sign that, hey, I'm there. I'm on a good path. I'm almost there.
Yeah, I agree with you. That's right also.
But that's an exception. Right. So I think the rule is good. There are these exceptions though.
Mhm.
Okay, so it was very fun pairing with you. Thank
Yeah,
you.
it was. Thank you very much. Thank you, Eddie, for your time and for inviting me.
Sure, sure. Thank you. And yeah, as always, until next time, have fun coding.
Yeah, thanks. Thanks.